Hello and welcome to episode
7?
6?
6? I don't know.
6.
It's our Valentine's Day episode. That's all
It's
that
our
matters.
Valentine's Day episode. What are you doing this week?
Valentine's Day stuff. Because we're definitely not recording this
In December. So we record very early. We are trying to get as many, quote unquote, in the can, so that we can have like leeway of like we want it to be off this week and not forget about things.
Yeah, or when we get busy and just can't record like we did for like a month.
Yeah, or March because
Right.
of musicals.
Yeah.
So
anyway, I was going to say, in honor of Valentine's Day, we picked some love songs.
quote unquote love songs.
Yeah, some offbeat ones. I think I said this before on a previous episode, or in real life, who knows? But it's all content now, so we got to say it on the mics, so it counts. But I once heard at an open mic, or it was like a folk acoustic duo, but then they had an open mic in between their set. Anyway, the guy described that there's basically two kinds of songs: is that there's songs about a girl or a guy or just significant other, and there are existential crises songs.
Yeah, you did say that.
Yeah, and then I've also heard somebody say that basically every song is a love song. So,
yes,
yeah,
the love of hating someone,
exactly. Yeah,
the love for your country, which will be maybe our next episode of political songs. I don't know.
What?
We'll do that sometime.
Sure.
Anyways.
Maybe around July 4th.
Maybe.
Yeah,
It'll be every day.
sure.
Be every holiday. Memorial Day, Labor Day, Arbor Day. This is a song about trees.
Yeah,
Actually, I might have one for that.
I am fairly certain I do as well. Yeah. Oh, I totally do. Actually, yeah.
Awesome. Okay, so the premise of this podcast is that we each bring a tune to each other about 24 hours in advance.
How many tunes would that equal, Bo?
Two
Whoa.
tunes, just like the name of this podcast.
Holy cow.
And if this is your first episode, welcome.
Yes.
You can hit us up on Instagram at
Two Tunes Podcast.
and email at
twotunespodcast@gmail.com.
yes, and we also have a Discord.
Sweet.
It's in the show notes.
Yeah, I just learned what that is.
Yeah, even though it'll be there from day one.
Yeah. Not the record label.
Yeah, and if you'd like to join us on a live recording, let us know in the Discord. Or if you have a song that you want us to listen to, let us know in the Discord, because that's how you're going to get it. Or
in the DMs.
the DMs on Instagram, because
Slide up in there.
that's where we are.
Yeah. So two very different tunes, but also weirdly related in a couple ways. Besides being love songs.
Love
and
songs.
like offbeat love songs.
Offbeat love songs. They both deal with planes.
Yeah.
Or
plane crashing, sort of. Or
I mean, there's one line in your
sort
song.
of. Yeah, but like it's enough that it's still
enough.
connects.
And weird talkie
coincidence.
bits.
Yeah, weird talkie bits either before or at the end.
We're not going to cover my talkie bit at the end, but if you want to listen to it, you can.
Yeah.
I'm not going to wait that long.
Sure.
There's a hidden track.
Yeah.
And it's not really that funny. I mean, it is.
It's kind of funny.
It was
but
funny
it's
in the
not-
90s when this
right.
came out.
Yeah.
1997. When yours just came out.
Mine just came out, yeah. So my tune is Pancakes for Dinner by Lizzy McAlpine.
Aren't pancakes just dessert? Isn't American breakfast just dessert?
Kinda. It's a lot of carbs and sugars and other things.
Sugars.
I love breakfast, though.
Yeah, because it's dessert. Who
Yeah.
doesn't love
Yeah.
American breakfast?
So anyway, so Lizzy McAlpine, this is from her album Give Me a Minute, which just came out in August of 2020. And I like this album so much that I think the entire album ended up in my Spotify top 100
Cool. Oh, for the year.
for the year.
Nice.
And I've only been listening to it, obviously, since August when it came out. I became aware of her just randomly. So Instagram is my go-to app, and so I'm on there a lot. Either just looking at stories or posting to my own story or just going through like the explore feature and all that stuff. You do. Yeah, anybody who follows me in my personal thing, I'm posting a lot of things in my story, usually songs and things.
Yeah.
But within the span of like, I don't know, 20 minutes, I saw like 3 or 4 different singer, songwriter, musician people that I really admire and respect, like big time professional names, share a post of hers. And I was like, okay, you've got my attention now. Like, I don't know who this person is, but I'm going to go check her out because Peter Eldridge says I should, and Kurt Elling, who we've talked about on this podcast, says I should. And I just I think this was actually the first tune I pulled up on Spotify. This was a single she'd released before the album came out. And the title kind of grabbed me because it sounded kind of quirky and different. And I just fell in love with the tune from there.
I'm surprised. Well, I'm not surprised because whatever, it doesn't matter. But I don't associate this person in any way musically from one song to Kurt Elling.
Right. Yeah.
Which if you didn't listen, was on our second episode.
Yeah.
So go back and listen to that.
Yeah. So she is 20, maybe 21 at this point. She went to Berkeley. I believe she just, because I follow her on Instagram, she basically just
the school in Boston, not in
correct.
Not in
Berkeley School of Music up in Boston.
Go.
But
which all the famous people go to.
Yeah, for however long they go
for a day.
Yeah, and that's the thing. And so she's leaving there because she's like, look,
you don't need it anymore.
I can do this. Yeah. But Peter Eldridge has taught up there. He might still be teaching up there. Sorry, Peter, if you're listening to this, I should know what you do. But
would he listen?
I know Peter.
Okay, then yeah, you're gonna.
So maybe I'll tell him about it. Yeah,
we are gonna have 20 people listen.
Yeah. Hopefully, Peter Eldridge will be one of them from the New York Voices and his own stuff. And
thank you for listening to our podcast.
But anyway, so perhaps she studied with him. He does a lot of songwriting stuff. I don't really know, but he was a fan enough at least to share stuff on the story. So
cool.
Yeah,
I like this song a lot. I learned some of it. I love the chords.
Yeah.
In it. We'll get there. I'm gonna stop it after the first chord progression.
Okay.
When the chord progression repeats.
Cool.
Because it's awesome.
Yeah.
How long?
Go for it.
Don't wanna be forward. Don't wanna cross a line. But if I were to crash in this plane tonight,
plane crash reference.
Yes.
I'd want you to know this.
All right, there's the chord progression. 24 seconds ish.
Yeah.
Most chord progressions for quote unquote pop, right? Or even singer songwriter. Like this right now at this point it sounds like it's just acoustic guitar and vocals. Cool. It's going to be that song.
Yeah.
It's not.
Yeah.
But that chord progression is very long. I thought it was really just going to be like boom, 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 like that the whole time. And maybe it would change halfway through and then it would end with that. And it doesn't. It does not change. It just keeps going to weird, awesome chords.
Yeah.
So that was my first.
And that's something that you latch. I grab onto harmony and stuff too, but you as a guitar player, you're like, let me grab my axe and let me figure this out. And,
here, let me grab my axe.
Yeah.
I just have it right here.
Oh, how about that?
It has that, and then it does that again. And then it goes up to here, which is awesome.
Eventually it goes there. It didn't get there yet, but
I'm
yeah.
doing not the whole thing through,
right.
and then it goes to this, which is like, oh my god, that's such a cool chord. And then I don't know if it goes here eventually.
Yeah.
And then it goes and then
back to one. Yeah.
and then back. Yeah, it's just like it's so cool. Which is the first chord is a power chord.
Nice.
or a B5.
Yeah.
Now it says you should. I looked it up online because I was figuring out most of it, and then I was like, okay. Well, first off, my guitar was out of tune. Well, it wasn't a tune; it was a half step down, which is a standard-ish thing for me.
Yeah. So the one cool thing I like about pretty much all the tunes on the album is that they could just be played on acoustic guitar and vocals, or piano and vocals, or some mix of that, and then
which the best songs. Or successful songs do that.
If you need all the production.
It adds. And it's like, oh my God, this could exist like this. Like this could be really good.
Yeah. And actually one cool thing that she did, and I think I've actually seen several different, maybe just people that I've followed and stuff, but people that have released music in the last 4, 5, 6 months, like in the summer of 2020 or late fall, whatever. I think because they've sat with that music for so long, and now they've been sitting more or less like we all did, and not as much to do or no gigs and whatever, is they've been sort of reimagining the stuff. And so she's put out a bunch of recordings of just her and a guitar, or just her and her piano, which is cool because it's like, hey, I know I just put out my album 5 minutes ago, but here's me doing the song in a slightly different way. And a guy named Tyson Matzenbacher, who I will absolutely be bringing onto this podcast to listen to, did something similar where he released his album in like, I don't know, June or July. And then by August was already releasing like acoustic versions or slightly different versions of the same album, just because I think because, he had the time, or it just struck him or whatever.
You're not doing the next thing, which would be like, oh, I put out a record, now I got a tour.
Right.
Yeah. You can't do that now.
Exactly.
So what are you going to do? Oh, well, I'm going to either write more music, hi Taylor Swift, or B, you're going to reimagine the songs you already have.
Yeah.
So those are cool. All right, second part of the verse.
Yeah.
Don't wanna say too
Oh, also that the vocals are so close.
on your space.
And like there's not really a lot of reverb on it.
I were to
Which I was like, this is like very intimate.
Well, and the song is intimate. She's really wants to express the thing. And that's me. I latch onto the lyric stuff. Can you pause for a second? So like, that's one, she's like, I might crash in this plane and I really got to tell you something. Like that's the whole thing. It builds up to the chorus where she's like, I really need to tell you this. I've been holding it in and I hope it's okay. And like, it's, I totally relate to all of that. Yeah. but I really like the sort of, maybe not twist, but sort of left turn that she takes when she actually gets to the chorus, because you think it's just going to be this big, I freaking love you. And oh my God, and blah, blah, blah. And it is that, but not like it's just a different way.
I get it, 'cause I heard the song, but let's get it to the kids.
Sorry.
For the kids at home.
When to tell you is too scary, so I'll just say something else.
The silence in this song is like the best thing about this song, which is like the silence of it. That doesn't make sense. But like, I'm going to play it again because it's so freaking great. Because right there's like a lot of space, right? Like you can hear the room,
right?
Especially with those knocks.
Yeah.
I don't want to call it like a snare drum or any drum.
No, it sounds like a rim knock or something. Yeah.
Yeah. But then
so I'll just say something else.
Nothing. There is nothing in between those chords.
Yeah.
Nothing, and it's so great.
And
which this is the pre-chorus.
Hear me when I talk to myself. But this plane
and I like because there's like
there's like some strings.
There is, but even like just that there's like extra vocals on top. And then, like, it drops out.
Yeah,
and then it comes back in and then drops out.
Like, they cut.
Yeah.
Silence.
Yeah.
Cut. Silence.
Yeah.
It's
so great.
So, what the hell do I have to lose?
And so here you think it's going to be this giant expression of love, but...
I want to eat pancakes for dinner.
It's just all this like cutesy love shit, which is awesome. Yeah. And it's like, but again, you expect this big, giant, grand thing, and it's like, I just want all this little stuff. I don't need the big, crazy stuff. Pancakes are dinner. Go out on the weekends. Stay in. I like that line. That's clever. I think that I should probably tell you this in case there is an accident and I never see you again. So please save all your questions for the end. That moment's cool too. Speaking of that whole thing, there's more stuff, and then you can hear everything not necessarily fade out, but just like pull back, and then it's more or less just her voice again. Like there's still other stuff happening. Yeah. But that's a cool.
And we're still kind of like thin in this, or traditional, I should say. It's very traditional.
Strings came in.
Yeah. Where it gets more unusual. In the second verse.
Don't want to say something wrong.
Now we get the snare drum on the brushes, piano.
But if you're still in love with her, I think that I'll leave it there.
And the backup vocals, a little bit louder, a little bit more prominent.
Oh, 'cause to tell you
and now we're full on.
Yeah. So I'll just say something else.
And then it's gotten bigger. But then, with the same thing... hold on. I'm jumping ahead.
Yeah.
Back to the song.
Yeah.
Getting bigger.
Yeah.
But then... and those harmonies. Those harmonies are great.
Yeah.
Love them.
Yeah.
And they're like, and also, if you are listening in headphones, which you should be...
always.
You can hear... It's 3 voices. It's her in the center, and then the harmonies left and right, doubled it. Which, if you're into production, you got to double the harmonies, right? Like you and don't like just be like, oh, I'm gonna copy it and put it over to the left, and put one to the right, because then you just have the same thing on left and right. But you got to change it. So what you do is you sing it once, put that to the left, sing it again, put that to the right, and then it gets fuller. Yeah. In my class last week, we did we talk about Billie Eilish last week?
Yeah, you did your weird Billie Eilish.
yeah. Okay. But anyway, in the song, the song is Ocean Eyes. There's like it's basically, it ends up being kind of like a choral thing.
Also, I'm pretty sure that was 2 weeks ago, and we also talked about her last week, so this is just a Billie Eilish podcast now. We'll never play any of her tunes, even though they're good.
They are.
We'll just talk about her and Phineas.
No, yeah. But like, there's the vocal part. Like they'll do the same thing 4 times and pan it hard left, medium left, medium right, and hard left.
Okay.
Or hard right.
Yeah.
And so it's like a 4,
yeah,
and then another 4 of the harmony, and then it's bigger and bigger, which is this kind of the idea. There's probably more than just 3 in this, but it's cool.
Yeah.
What do I have to lose right now? I wanna eat pancakes for dinner.
The harmonies.
I wanna get stuck in your head.
And I like just on certain words.
Watch a TV show together, and when we're under the weather, we can watch it in bed. I wanna go.
And she also gets more. What's the word I'm looking for? Like when
melismatic.
Is that the word that I'm looking for?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that's totally a word.
I didn't want to say it and be wrong. Not even pronouncing it, but just being wrong. Melismatic, which is like, like what the divas do. So like the first half of this song is very straightforward, like no like singer-songwriter, and now she's getting a little bit more.
It's like she's getting a little more bold, perhaps. Like
yeah.
I'm really putting this out there hard on the sleeve. Like I really need to tell you this, and
yeah.
The hopeless romantic in me like really loves the lyrics and things of this song.
Yeah.
This is one of those. I have like a running list of songs that I'm not a songwriter myself, but like if you could go back and like take credit or write a certain, like this would be up there for sure. Because it's just great.
Yeah, I gotcha.
Go out on the weekends. I want to dress up.
And she's 20. Like, come
on. All the best songwriters are. I'm just saying. Like, and even if they're like 60 now, they wrote their best songs in their 20s.
Paul McCartney.
Yeah, and think of it. Anybody.
Yeah.
Anybody. They wrote their best songs when they were in their 20s.
Yeah. Well, he's.
Most.
Yeah.
Adele. She's in her 20s.
Yeah.
The only reason I know that is because the albums are named after the age that she was at. But yeah. Everybody. The greatest bands in the world were popular when they were in their 20s.
Sure.
And I never see you again. So please save all your questions for the end. And maybe I'll be brave enough by then.
New chords. Because it's rich.
Right.
Well, kind of.
Ever say what's in my head? No, I won't have to say anything.
I like a little twist here. Lyrically.
You'll say it instead.
That's the hope, right? It's the hopeless romantic, is you hope not only will the feelings be reciprocated, but that she won't have to say them because they're going to say them.
And now you can hear talking in the background.
Yeah.
And you're talking in the background. You're talking in the background.
Yeah, which we talked about on, some other song.
Yeah, it's kind of a theme.
Episode. Yeah, it happens, and it's kind of a cool thing.
All right. Song 2 of Two Tunes Podcast.
Yes.
Which you can email us at twotunespodcast@gmail.com or find us on Instagram at
Two Tunes Podcast.
Or on the Discord in the chat.
Sure. Maybe that'll be a thing by 2021.
Well, by this time, yes.
Yeah.
People will find it, maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know. It'll be in the intro.
Tell your friends.
Tell your friends. All right, so this is like not your typical love song. First off, because it's from a punk band.
Right.
It's not your typical songwriting. Mm-hmm. There's no chorus.
Oh, yeah.
There's no chorus. So this is a band called NoFX. They're a punk rock.
I was gonna make the joke. Listen more like No Talent. Listen to the hidden track at the end of this one.
It's on this track. You listen all the way through because I was like, what's going on? Why is this still going?
NoFX has like a 6-minute song. No way. They have a couple of those, but
it's 5 minutes and 13 seconds, and it's not really okay. No. So they're a punk band, right? Yeah. And I wouldn't pop punk. Would you call them pop punk?
Skate punk, pop punk. Yeah, they were like early.
Yeah, basically, think of Blink-182. Okay,
somewhere NoFX fans are like, no.
Like they have. Okay, so NoFX is more underground,
right? It's weird. Like they're very much like godfathers of like SoCal punk,
yes,
and stuff, but also never quite hit the way that
they didn't want to
a Blink or whatever. Well, sure,
they didn't want to, and that's the thing. Like when Offspring was popping, when Green Day was popping, NoFX could have, but they're just like, no, we're doing fine on our own.
And at that point had been around for 15 years or more,
maybe,
or maybe not quite as long. Like, but they just had been around for a while.
I'm not comparing them to Blink-182, but if you read their tell-all book, I'm going to say it's a tell-all book.
I love it. Yeah.
I forget what it's called. Something in the bathwater or something like that.
I forget.
Anyways, but it's a tell-all book, and they're kind of a tell-all book.
Yeah.
And in it, they're like, they get to the point where they, like they're talking about like, oh, Blink-182, they kind of did the same shtick as them.
Yeah.
Because they would always like, their stage banter was always like kind of making fun of each other and the crowd.
Right.
And Blink-182 kind of did that. And they're just like, but like really, really popular.
Yeah.
Like where the other big band on that level I would say is Bad Religion, where Bad Religion at whatever point Blink-182 was headlining and Bad Religion was opening, and it's just like, really, like, and if you're in this world, you know, like, really,
right,
like these guys have been around since the 80s. These guys like
and take their stuff super serious and like work hard and whatever.
So this is NoFX. This is called Falling in Love, and it's off of their 1997 album So Long and Thanks for All the Shoes.
Yeah.
I don't know what that means. It might be like everything's like a pun. Yeah. Like everything is a pun to them. Everything's kind of funny. Everything's kind of weird, but like there's a bit of humor in everything that they do, but there's also a bunch of, earlier stuff. There's also political views, but like you can kind of disguise it with the humor.
Right. Well, they have some they hit on, especially I guess throughout their career, they hit on some really heavy stuff.
Oh yeah.
Like check out I'm gonna look up the song. I think it's off like the Cokie the Clown, which there you go.
Oh no,
Cokie the Clown EP. No. But then there's a song about his dad having cancer and stuff.
Yeah. So Cokie the Clown is like an alternate ego of the guy who writes all the songs. His name is Fat Mike. And those are like, you don't want
My Orphan Year, by the way, is that song.
Yeah.
Great song. But.
Yeah. You don't, those albums are effed up,
yeah.
are so messed up because he says things in there that like, you're like, wait, what?
Yeah.
Like he went through kind of a midlife crisis. Fat Mike did, after a certain point. Anyways, way to bring it down.
Yeah.
No, they have some heavy things, but also like political type things. Like Perfect Government swears a lot, but it's talking about like, you know, it's the corporations. It's not you or me. It's not like blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
Anyways, here it is. And first tie-in is Talking. Now, the lyrics at this point, like you can hear in the background, it's like, oh no, it's like sounds like we're in the back. It sounds like we're in the living room. And that's the voice of Fat Mike. And I know this because of their live record.
Yeah.
And it's basically got a high pass filter on it, so all the low end is gone. It's just really, really tinny.
Feels like an old radio or something.
Yes, exactly. Except until right here. No. Yeah. Dun, dun, dun. Then it opens up.
Right.
And you're like, this isn't a love song.
And they're on a plane.
Yeah, they're on a plane. Which this could be considered the chorus.
Right.
Like, it has a melodic idea.
Yeah.
Which is kind of like the same lyrical idea. And then verse 2. So yeah, they're dying. They're in a plane crash.
Yeah.
The harmonies that they do, like, they're always the same.
Yeah. Because it's punk rock harmonies.
Yeah. But, like, it's NoFX harmonies.
Yeah.
Like, we're going to do this. Got to have that perfect fourth.
Yeah.
Bridge. But it's like verse, outro, really. It probably is the outro.
Super short, yeah. That's one thing I've never gotten super into NoFX. Every time I listen to them, I'm like, yeah, this is good. I like that. Almost like a little pickety third at the end there. And then it just fades away. But, like, I respected that they just kind of do their own thing. And even who knows what they were thinking in 1997 when they recorded this. But
that was a love song to his wife at the time.
But okay, sure. But I mean, like, as far as like the songwriting itself, maybe it was. I can't think of a friggin' chorus for this thing. Let's just play these chords and with that little melodic thing, like you said, and then same thing. I don't have another verse. We still didn't have a chorus. I guess we go to this bridge outro thing, and we're just gonna la la la, the kind of sing over that thing.
Well, so their most popular song is called Linoleum. It doesn't have a chorus.
Right.
Most popular song doesn't have a chorus.
Yeah.
A lot of their songs, and they mentioned that in that book. It's like, we don't have choruses to our songs.
Yeah.
And
because they're telling a story. They're just trying to get.
And
it
was
there.
a 2 minute 30-second story. It's like, get in, get out.
Do you still have it playing, by the way?
No, I don't. I stopped it.
So there's like another 2 minutes.
2 minutes 40 seconds right now.
But I mean of silence.
Yeah.
And then does the bonus track, which is like 30 seconds or something.
Yeah. It's
dumb, but listen to
it's dumb. Go listen to it. That album is really good too.
Yeah.
Like, let me see if I can pull it up. I mean, I probably can.
Yeah, I don't think in all the times I've been to Warped Tour, I don't think I ever did see NoFX.
Really?
Yeah.
Like, they played every other year.
I feel like I just missed. They were either on an off day, or I caught them after they had already left, or right before they joined. You know what I mean? Like,
okay,
because it had been years. I didn't go in like early years. It was sort of late, but so I think I missed those years when they were on all the time.
Yeah.
And like I said, like, they're a band that I appreciate, but I think I own maybe one album.
Yeah, the longest song on this record is this one, and there's 2 minutes of silence in it. Like, that's not true. There's Eat the Meek, which is like there's trumpet.
Yeah, who is it? Fat Mike that plays trumpet? One of them.
No. El Jefe.
Oh, that's right.
El Jefe is the guitar player. Yeah. He's the talent. Really.
Right. I always know the trumpet from Kill All the White Man.
Yeah.
Yeah, off of one of the Fat compilations.
Yeah. Oh, but
that's where I have most of my NoFX stuff from, is from Fat Music for Fat People compilations and all the other
100%
punk compilations.
But they also have done like cover songs. They did. I think this is the first record that they started to do like cover songs a lot.
Yeah.
So like Champs-Élysées.
Yeah.
But a punk rock version.
Right. My favorite cover of theirs is they call it All of Me.
Yeah, I know.
But it's a jazz standard called All of Me, and it's awesome. And I play it for my kids every now and then in a jazz band, and they're like,
"Oh, really?
Wait, what?"
Yeah. So that song, so NoFX has become friends with Frank Turner. Do you know Frank Turner?
Yeah.
And they released an album that
split where they covered each other's things.
Exactly. So like they did Falling in Love, or Frank Turner did Falling in Love.
Oh, that's funny, because I listened to that.
Which is it's not a good version in my opinion.
Yeah, I didn't love that album in general.
We're listening to it right now.
My friend Mike, shout out, not Fat Mike, but he got me into Frank Turner, and then like over this summer, and then when this album came out, I was like, oh cool, I like that, and I don't know, I didn't really dig on the whole thing that much.
Yeah. This is the Falling in Love version, which is like, it's a lot slower, and each of the little each line is twice as long. It's slowed down and then twice.
Right.
So when he actually starts singing, Lost.
Oh,
right?
Still not yet. I thought it was going to be there. Yeah.
Which is just like, it's too long.
Yeah.
In my opinion, between those. But also, the second verse. This is like the bridge in between verse 1 and verse 2.
Yeah.
And this is like 2 minutes into the song. Right. So they just said death.
Don't seem so bad.
So way in the background, he's like yelling.
Right.
Right? So
Yeah, it's
there's some cool stuff
respect it.
about it. Some of the songs are really good, but some of the songs are bad.
Yeah.
Like Perfect Government. Which is like, this is a Frank Turner song.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. It has a total Frank Turner spin on it.
And even if it's easy to be free,
Yep.
what's your definition of
Freedom. And then it just says the F word like 5 million
Frank
times.
Turner's like, to me, Mumford & Sons if they had like a punk rock background. Do you know what I mean? Like it's got that kind of folky but still like edge to it for sure.
So
I really like his live album. That's
Yeah.
the one I really got into.
So Frank Turner.
This is now a Frank Turner podcast.
This is now a Frank Turner
It's
podcast.
a Billie Eilish spinoff that turned into a Frank Turner podcast.
I just spelled Frank Tuner.
Frank Turner, yeah, that's
His No, so Frank Turner and John
Snodgrass.
Snodgrass
Yeah.
10 years ago released a record called Buddies.
Okay.
Where they would just like met up and did 10 songs, just
Right.
made up 10 songs,
Okay.
hung out, wrote 10 songs,
And
recorded
Snodgrass
it,
is
released.
from.
I have no idea.
He's from a band.
Is he?
I think so.
I don't know.
Or he just does his own thing.
Yeah, I think he just does his own thing.
Maybe.
But then this year they released it. They did another one, and it's hilarious because like they sing a song, and then at the end of the song they talk about the next song.
Okay.
And do you know the song "Beth" by Kiss?
Yes, I do.
Okay,
actually.
well they do a song called Macbeth.
Okay.
And it's like basically ripping off the ideas and the musical ideas, like Beth, I hear you calling, right? And then it's just like Macbeth, I hear you. they don't use the same chord progression, but
Right.
you can tell like where it comes from.
Yeah, that's funny.
And then like at like the track before at the end, they talk about like, oh, you know that play,
Scottish play.
that Scottish play. It's like, yeah, you're from because Frank Turner's from England, and then Snodgrass is like from Kentucky or something.
Yeah. I just looked him up. He is part of other bands, but not that I know of.
No,
I just
none
know
that
him
you
by
know.
his name.
Yeah.
I do like, now that we've completely gotten off board of everything that this podcast was about, but I like the whole thing of the Frank Turner NoFX split where they're covering each other's thing.
Yeah, yeah.
That's something that I love. And punk bands have done splits forever.
They've done that. They did it with Rancid.
Oh, yeah.
Which, by the way, Rancid's covers of NoFX are horrible, and NoFX covers of Rancid are amazing.
Yeah, I'll have to check that out. But that's something I've always thought was kind of cool, and I wish more people of various things. One of my favorite versions of that is actually a Record Store Day release from a few years ago, but it was Feist and Mastodon.
Okay.
It was like a split 45, I think, like split 7-inch. And so Feist did a Mastodon song and Mastodon did a Feist song, and they called it Feistodon.
Nice.
But it was really cool, and it was cool to hear like each of their spin. And those are like way different groups.
Yeah.
Or artists, whatever.
on Warped Tour. This is, by the way, this is what the podcast is. Like we talk a little bit at the
just
beginning, we
BS
talk about
about
the
whatever.
songs, and then we
Yeah.
BS at the end.
Yep.
So
Sometimes at the beginning. Last week it was not BSing at the beginning, but like
yeah.
you took us down a rabbit hole.
But let's give the kids what they want.
Yeah.
Damn it! Now I forgot what I was gonna say.
Sorry.
Just to tell
Something
you guys.
about Warped Tour and
Oh yeah. So on
remember when
Warped
Warped
Tour,
Tour used to give out just like free CDs and like
yeah,
dollar
yeah,
CDs.
it was great. Silverstein and Beartooth.
Oh yeah.
They apparently like would do mashups on the Warped Tour
Okay.
and be called like Silvertooth
So yeah.
or Bearstein.
Yeah.
And they
I'm familiar with this,
and they
but
would just
not,
like,
like,
hey, let's
yeah.
just like join together and like do whatever.
Right.
So they did those things, and I'm thinking that's really cool.
Yeah.
So yeah, yet again for the third time since I've been putting these everywhere, you can hit us up on Instagram at
Two Tunes Podcast.
and email at twotunespodcast@gmail.com.
Yeah. Let us know stuff you want to hear. Just give us some feedback.
Yeah, you can email us or DM on Instagram, or you could join the Discord.
Sure.
It's a new thing. I mean, it'll be there the whole time you've listened to this podcast, but this is the first time we're mentioning it on the podcast.
I'm not.
It's if you don't know what a Discord is, join it. and maybe, just maybe, we'll do like a live, not a live version, but like you can watch us on.
Yeah.
If we get 100 people in the Discord, we'll maybe do.
Do I know 100
live
people, and can I
live
convince
versions.
them to even listen to the podcast?
You're just making like the people who are listening to this feel sad that they're listening to it.
But that means I don't know. No, I want them to listen to it, but do I know them? Hopefully I do.
Yeah. Anyways, we love you guys. We'll see you next week.
We don't have a sign off still. This is our sign off, talking about not having one.
All right. Bye.
Peace.